So there is a simple and nice trick that I want to share with you today in Lightroom to work fast and export fast just by clicking a few times. I'm Chris, welcome to iStalker, let's jump into Lightroom. So I selected 7 photos, and let's say these represent all the photos that you shot in your vacation, but for demonstration purposes I only have 7. As you can see, the photos are not properly exposed. So first step, I want to have optimal exposure settings for each of these photos. And you're probably thinking, you know what, I will select the first one, raise the exposure, so let's enter a +2 value here, and then I select all the photos by pressing Ctrl A, click Sync, and I will only sync the exposure. And when I will press Synchronize, the correct exposure will be applied to each of these photos. Just have a look in this area after I press Synchronize. So as you can see, the exposure from the first photo was applied to the rest of the photos, but technically they are not right because they are a bit overexposed. Each of these photos have a +2 value on the exposure slider, but the first one was taken at sunset, while the other ones during the day when the sun was much brighter. So I need a command which I can apply for automatic exposure and toning for each photo separately. Check this out. The second option is to select the photo and click on this auto button in the toning area, and that should do the job. So if you go from one photo to another, you can click this auto button on each of them. But still, this is time consuming, right? What if you have 1000 photos? Even if I select the first photo after I clicked on the auto button and then I select all photos to synchronize them, I notice that there is no checkbox for the auto toning option. So here's the trick that you need to do. Please pay attention to this. I will reset all the photos first to their original state. I select the first photo. I press Ctrl A to select all of them, and then I go to this small button or switch, or how do you want to call it, it really doesn't matter. What this button does is to auto sync every setting with the rest of the photos. So I activate this button and you'll see that the text just changed here into auto sync. Now watch what happens when I click on this auto toning button. Boom! The auto toning was applied in a custom way for each of these photos, and here is the proof. Each of these files have different values for exposure, contrast, blacks, and so on. Now the next step, which is very important, is to turn off this auto sync switch, because if you let it on and start tweaking one of the photos, that setting will be copied automatically on every single photo. So turn it off because it's safer. And now with all the photos selected, I usually go to export, and for export location I choose the folder later. For file settings I'm on JPEG, 90 for quality, and sRGB. I will check this resize to fit, and for the long edge I just enter 1080p pixels because most people will watch the photos on HD monitors, maybe in full screen mode. And of course, I can also sharpen for screen in standard mode. I hope you learned something from this video today, and if you enjoyed it, please hit the like and subscribe for more videos. I'm Chris, and see you next time.